red pill.
Hurry up, motherfucker. We don't got time.
Wake up, motherfucker.
There's a war happening.
Run across the hallway, motherfucker. Look at every other line.
Imagine if it was Samuel L. as Morpheus and Will Smith as Neo.
Oh my god.
You would have gotten Bad Boys.
Yeah. Bad Boys Reloaded. Revolutions. They go visit the fucking Oracle and shit. No, I can't do that.
Here's one that'll fucking blow your mind. Gillian Anderson turned down the role of Trinity.
Why?
I don't know.
Wait, who is she?
Fucking Scully, bro.
Oh shit.
The Oracle gives Neo a literal and figurative cookie.
Oh.
Because it's a cookie from the computer,
Yeah,
man.
but it's fucking, yeah.
What's up?
Mind blown right there, dude. Here, have a cookie. That's crazy.
It's insane. The film takes place around 2199. I said 2099 earlier. My bad. David Duchovny turned down the role of Neo to continue X-Files.
Yeah. He would have been a little too old for that, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so. But
I feel like he was already old in the beginning of X-Files.
Of X-Files, yeah. He kind of
not old, but he just kind of looked old.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, he looked like a younger, older.
He just like, yeah.
The way he carries himself. He's not a very physical dude, you know. What
Neo, he's
never done too much action-heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
What has he got? He's got fucking X-Files and Californication.
Yeah. Zoolander when he got shot at. Fucking hand model. He's like, you idiot.
That's right.
Oh, and he's in that fucking Evolution movie, right?
Yeah.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
No, he can't be. He can't do that.
Stick to the X-Files.
Wu Ping Yin was the fight choreographer for the film, and I guess he actually didn't want to do it at all. So he gave the Wachowskis impossible like tasks, which they still fulfilled. He was like, I'll only do it if you let me train your actors for 4 months, and I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do in the fight scenes. It's all me. And they're like, okay, sure.
I only train on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 a.m.
I want Cambodian breast milk.
They're like, okay, sure,
no problem.
Damn it.
The Matrix trilogy is one of the first and only rated R movies or franchises that doesn't have the F word.
Wow.
So Sam Jackson wouldn't be able to do
Yeah.
He'd be like, what? Oh, wait.
Damn it.
Mother fudger.
And that's all I got for the SWAT facts.
That was good.
I wanted to do a few extra, you know, because it's the fucking Matrix, man.
It's the fucking Matrix.
You're like, come on. I can't rob Big Joe of his fucking swan facts for the Matrix. He'll kill me. You know, no, I just think it's funny. He listens all the time.
Yeah. What's up, Joe?
What's up?
Miss you, man.
Swan facts for Big Joe.
That's right.
Should make a little special section.
Well, I want to make sure he learns something, you know, because he's an actual listener. Yeah, he loves this shit. So I want to make it worth it. What's up? This is for you, Joe.
Hey, question for Big Joe. Do you remember the Matrix Powerade flavor? I've been trying to ask this guys, but I remember the Matrix Powerade flavor, but
I bet you Joe does. I feel like he would know.
He's gonna come up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, man,
that's good."
We'll see. We'll get back to him.
Please, Joe.
I can't wait for Friday now. So what are your final thoughts on The Matrix, dude?
Definitely check this movie out if you haven't. I don't know what you're doing. If you've been
living under a rock, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
What are you doing? What are you watching besides this?
Yeah. I know a buddy of mine who I really don't talk to anymore.
Shade.
He had never seen it. I don't think he's seen it. And Yeah, and he kind of made it like a big deal, like, oh, like, like who gives a shit about the Matrix? Like, I've never seen it. And I remember I asked this older lady, she was coming by, one of our other coworkers. She's like in her late 40s, early 50s. And I was scared. I was like, because I was going to use her as reference. Have you seen The Matrix? And I was like, don't say no. And she was like, oh yeah, que bonito. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Cool. She's like, I've seen it so many times. Yeah. And so she proved me right.
Awesome. Fuck you, buddy.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met anybody or heard of anybody that's never seen The Matrix,
or at least know what it is, or
haven't.
Or seen it on TV, man. Yeah. This movie's been
at least on TV. It's always on like TNT,
or at least the third one, because the third one's always on TNT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
dude, that's crazy.
What do you think about the other two? Do you like the other two? Like when you think of The Matrix, do you automatically just think of the first one, or do you think of them as a whole?
Okay, well. So I watched The Matrix when it came. I didn't see it in the theater like you. I'm not a cool kid, but I did see it on VHS one of the first days, and it dropped on video. My grandparents were always big on bringing stuff the Tuesday that it comes out, right? And I watched it, and they were mind blown. We watched it at different times, but they were mind blown. They couldn't. They were like, "That's a fucking weird ass movie." Like they were like, it was almost too much for them. Yeah. Or like Inception was too much. But I loved it. To be honest, like watching the first Matrix, I put it on the level of watching Fight Club for the first time. It literally like changed my life, changed the way that I viewed film,
your way of thinking,
and the way that the amount of complexity and stuff that you can put into film or metaphors for real life. I was like, dude, this is one of the movies that made me want to be in the industry or do something or know, like I could really create a voice as long as you have something original. But going back to your question, I feel like Reloaded and Revolutions, I was a little bit mature when they came out, so those were more like our generation's Matrixes. So I have like a kind of a huge soft spot for them, even though I know they're not as good. When, like, for example, when Reloaded came out, my grandpa he got like the theater standee from, I don't know who he got it from, but he knew I was a big Matrix fan, and he brought it home, and he let me build it in the garage, and I kept that for a long time. And then Revolutions came out, and he brought me like the huge promo posters from Hollywood Video. He had the hook up there, and he would just bring me posters and stuff. So I've been collecting stuff like this since I was literally like a kid or whatever. And so to answer your question, I do love those movies, and I think they have weak points and they have strong points, but I think they get a bad rap. More so than they deserve. Because
I agree with that too. It's because a lot of people don't understand it. So if they don't understand something, they'll make fun of it and kind of mock it. Because there's a lot of parodies of the Matrix and the Matrix story. Even like the conclusion with like the architect and like the two albino ghosts and stuff like that. They'll kind of not understand what fully is going on, so they'll mock it. And I've seen that before, but that's cool that you kind of incorporate them all as one package because you like them. That's cool.
I feel like those last two are kind of not seen fairly because they're kind of compared to the first one, which is so good.
So I think it was almost like a losing battle, or
there's no way you could compare those two to the first one because that first one is so, how we said, like iconic or game changing in that.
Honestly, you didn't need a sequel. And perhaps that's why they're mocked, because you didn't really need. I actually liked that they didn't touch on like Zion and the war. It was kind of like a subplot, like they gave you like that exposition, and that was good enough.
That was it, yeah.
And continuing this story, and then that's why I was going back to like what I was saying before. That's why I think the other two movies aren't as well received, even though they did do fairly well.
Yeah,
I know. People went to go see them. They just were underwhelming because you can't. The Wachowskis couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Couldn't top the first one.
Thinking about it in retrospect, if I'm still on the Will Smith thing, if Will Smith would have got that role, isn't Jada in the second?
Yeah, she's Niobe in Reloaded.
Okay, that's right. That would have been weird too to see both of them in that.
She actually, bonus fun fact, she tried out for Trinity and didn't get it, and so then she got the role of Niobe, which is like one of the huge badasses in Zion, and she's really good.
Yeah, she's good in that.
And before the Path of Neo game, there was a little game called Enter the Matrix.
Yeah, I had that on PS1, I want to say, or Xbox. Xbox.
I think so. And it was awesome. It's not as good as Path of Neo, but I think it kind of sets the stage for that video game to come. I think it's you can play two stories. I think it's her pilot, he's like Chinese,
the Asian guy. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then Niobe, and you can jack you in, and it was one of the first Matrix games.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was.
And then you do that whole lobby fight sequence too, but with those two characters and stuff. Yeah. I used to have that game, I remember, and it was kind of it set the tone for the Max Payne games too, because it had the bullet time, and you can jump and do all
and do fly, do like crazy,
run off the walls.
That's
and shoot
cool.
at the same time and stuff. Yeah, I remember that game, dude. That was a good game.
Actually, I have a question. It's kind of pertaining to the sequels. The Oracle's like bodyguard, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Didn't they say he was like a?
He's the dude from the game, right?
Yeah, that's it.
They said that he was like a reprogrammed agent, like one of the or something like that.
In the second one, they say that.
That's what I thought. He was like the first version.
Yeah, I'd have to
refresh.
Yeah.
It's been.
I don't know why I'm thinking about that, because I remember. Because that's when he fights the agents.
He is a badass in that, so I wouldn't doubt it. He could be.
I know Chris or somebody's going to be screaming at us. It's this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. We need like a live feed or something, like a FaceTime.
That's right.
Phone a friend or something. That would be pretty cool.
Now I want to watch the other ones to remember.
You should, man.
I think I might. Are we done talking about this?
I had a question about what are your guys' favorite, deaths out of all the people who get unplugged from the first one? Who do you think, or who do you think went out the craziest? Well, I know you like the way Mouse went out. Right? Yeah. And then also, if you were to be projected into the Matrix, what do you think you would look like?
Shit!
If you were plugged in, you know how he says what you're seeing now is a self-projection.
Yeah, of what you think you look like.
What you think you would look like. What do you think you would look like, James?
It's funny when he said that in the movie, and I was like, so what if this is the Matrix right now?
Yeah.
And this is how I project myself. I was like, fuck, I wish I projected myself more like fucking buff.
Yeah. Or like more suave or GQ.
Yeah.
They all had like really cool clothes, and they all looked like badasses.
They look like bums when they're in the real world, and then they plug in and they come out of the room.
Yeah,
it's like the squad getting ready to go club.
Yeah. What would you look like, Wes? What do you think you'd look like?
That'd be hard, man. I don't know, but I try to be I would try to blend in.
Yeah.
More so than because I feel like those guys, like Trinity and everyone, they pop out. Like you can tell they're rebelling.
Yeah.
They stick out. Yeah.
They have like that black leather and.
Except for
like her fucking latex and shit, like all bondagey and shit.
The latex pants.
Dominatrix.
Right before, when she's like, when they're about to cuff her and shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic though. And she does the jump that we didn't talk about yet. The fucking jump
that first jump. Yeah.
And the 360. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that I remember seeing that and thinking, you know what, this is going to be a crazy movie because it was the first time that you kind of see that. And then plus when he's like, your men are already dead. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? She's crazy or what?
I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah. I already sent 2 units.